what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm Ben, and today we are going to be taking my 701 Enduro out for a little adventure. If you guys have seen me out on this bike before, this GPS probably looks pretty familiar. However, the last time that I was out riding this bike hard on the Harrison Hills ATV trails, I busted the mount off. And as economical and useful as these Garmin Nuvi GPSs that I've been picking up off of eBay used for around 20 to 30 bucks are, I think this will fit the 701 a lot better. So this is going to be a CarPlay unit similar to what you would see in a vehicle nowadays, but of course is designed for a motorcycle. And this one has a lot of really pretty cool features that I'm pretty excited to test out. So huge thanks to them for sending this out to me to test. Let's get it unboxed, installed on the 701, and then we'll take it out for a test ride and see if it's any good. Here's camera 1, camera 2, and the mount gets mounted to the back side here, and then you're supposed to clamp this onto your bars, but I think what I'm going to do instead is actually drill some holes in my fairing here and just mount this sort of like that. Should still be able to see my original dash there, and I don't think it should get in the way of the brake lines when the front forks get compressed. Should look pretty darn nice there too. This does make getting to the buttons a little hard. No worse than before. Put the stock mirrors back on here because I feel like I was not able to see anybody coming up on me with the cheapo double fake mirrors that I had on here, the double take knockoffs. But now with these on here, my camera can't see me. So I can turn this on and off by hitting that A button. You have to hold it for 10 seconds to shut it off, which is sort of annoying, but I guess, I don't know, you'd think 5 would do it, but whatever. So I've previously had this connected to both my Bluetooth headset and my Bluetooth on my phone. So my phone is sending this information that we'll get through the Android Auto. It takes a second to link up. And if you guys are unfamiliar, these are basically useless without a cell phone. You essentially are just sort of casting the information and apps from your phone onto the screen, and then it relays it to the Bluetooth communicator. And this is a new comm that I'm actually trying out for the first time today, a FOD Sports FX8. It seems to work really well. It's got sort of upgraded speakers, which I really like. Still not as loud as I would like on the highway, especially with earplugs in, but I could hear my music just fine, better than I was able to in the past with the other brand that I was using. So I've got the Gaia GPS app pulled up here, and I've got to say, the numbers are pretty hard to read. I don't know why everything is so small, and I mean, I could zoom in, but nothing actually gets any bigger. It just sort of zooms into it. All the numbers and everything stay kind of small, which, I mean, I don't like, and these buttons are really, I mean, pretty small. Other than that, I mean, this thing is actually super cool. I've got little sensors on the front and rear tire that tell me the pressure, which it's actually kind of neat to see how this was a little bit different in the garage. Now that I'm out riding, pressures go up a little bit. So, I mean, that's super cool. The DVR thing is super neat. This is actually really pretty high quality video. And it basically just records these on a loop, but we will get moving here. And I think what I'm going to do is try to use this Gaia GPS app. Google Maps looks about the same. Still pretty hard to read all the names and stuff. So I also downloaded this Osmand app. This one also shows a decent bit of information. Some private land, not all. I found a couple spots that I would expect to see some county land borders where there aren't any. Road names are maybe a little bit easier to read on this one, but I think we're going to stick with the Gaia GPS app for today. And the nice thing about having this CarPlay unit rather than my old Garmin units is that I could set up stuff, waypoints and routes and whatever on my phone, and then have it casted to the CarPlay unit. So you can see the blue line here is the route that I set up on here, and you guys were telling me that I should be able to have this thing navigate for me, which last time I was not able to do on the other CarPlay unit, which had nothing to do with the CarPlay unit. It's just me not knowing how to use it. So I think I should be able to navigate on Android Auto. Okay, well, looks like it's working. Be interesting to see how hot my phone gets today when we're at least in an area that has a little bit better service. I don't remember if I actually downloaded any maps on this Gaia GPS app or not. I kind of don't think so, but it seemed like it was actually kind of just saving the information anyways. So when I was running out of signal last time, it was still working. But let's get a move on and get started on our adventure here. It seems like this is going to tell me what to do here. 0.3 miles turn left. Oh, okay, because I think I'm on the road already. All right. Turn this up using the little wheel. Whoops, nope, that's down. So I gotta spin the little wheel on the side. I'm sure you guys can't see that at all. Yep, telling me what to do. And playing music. Telling me to take a right. Yeah, I gotta say, it kind of stinks that you can't just pick a point on the screen and have it just be a button like there is on Google Maps to just navigate and go. Definitely is an extra step to have to do it on the phone ahead of time, but I've got to say I do really kind of like how this thing navigates. It seems to work pretty well, and I really do like the Gaia GPS app. If you guys missed the video where I was up north adventuring on some trails with it with my dad, I mean, it really does do a good job of showing all the woods trails and everything I needed to see. Oh, I was supposed to keep going there. Whoops. So what's it gonna do now? Not reroute me, probably, right? Hopefully it'll reroute me around this storm. I think I might have to do that on my own too, but I think it should be going the opposite way and not coming after me. It seems like it is, though. So, I mean, I guess it'd be nice if it would reroute me, but if you want to stick to the specific route, I guess it really is kind of nice rather than Google Maps having you, you know, jumping all over the place if you get off track. I mean, now I can just kind of figure out how to get back on track. I mean, it definitely isn't built like Google Maps is, but I mean, I think maybe for somebody that's going to do, you know, off-road motorcycling especially, or run on trails rather than roads all the time, this might actually be, I mean, much better. I suppose it really just depends on what you're looking to do and what you like. It's almost just going to save this for tomorrow instead, but I'm pretty glad that I decided to get out tonight instead. It's a little bit cooler. It was a high of 80 today, but it's got to be dropping now. We'll deviate one more time. This is too nice of a road to avoid. The deer like it. So now I'm way off course, can't even see it, but it's still following me and just telling me to go this way, 0.7 miles. I like how I tell this thing to navigate and then just blatantly ignore everything it tells me. So now if I want to, I can turn this on without the bike on. Might look on, but the dash just always stays on these. I can hit DVR and it will just automatically start recording and sort of record on a loop. So if anybody comes to mess with my stuff, they'll be on camera. Oh, yikes. Pole almost rattled apart. Fishing with motorcycle gloves on, that's a new one. So we're using the Rooster Tail, 16th ounce. That's a nice thing about waterproof adventure boots. Oh, come on. There's nobody sitting in there. Oh. And not like I'm actually concerned here, but you could switch this to... Took a photo. No, we don't want that. You can go to playback and then review all those clips that it took. I don't know. I mean, there must be a way to move this onto your phone, I guess, but I haven't really seen a good spot to do that yet, so I'll have to see if I can figure that out eventually. Anyway, let's carry on. I wonder if you can get, maybe some of you guys know, an app that would show you active radar on here. That'd be really kind of cool, especially when you're riding around trying to avoid storms. Alright, let's find some trails now. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the numbers are all, like I said, too small to read, but really, I mean, the rest of it is more than visible enough. It's definitely usable, even if I don't have enough service to play my music. Woo, that air feels good in the vents. Hope you guys sure you guys all think I'm nuts riding around with all this gear on all the time, but I'm always concerned that I'm going to go down, of course, which we really all should be. Dress for the slide, not for the ride. It is a little borderline when it's 80 degrees and sunny out to be wearing all this gear. I just have a base layer underneath it, and really with all the vents open, as soon as I get moving, it's just like, it's like the suit has AC, and I definitely like that. Issue is when you go slow and you're riding hard in trails and stuff, obviously then it's not so great, but believe it or not, I am feeling good and feeling the airflow now. Y'all stay where you're at, alright? Don't be running for the corn, silly deer. Donkeys! Oh, what a gorgeous night. Should do all my rides this time of day. I think my wife would be very happy about that. We could just have breakfast together with the kids and hang out with the kids for a bit and give her a break in the morning. What do you think of that, honey? I love this road. I miss this bike. Definitely gives you that sport bike feeling when you punch the throttle through a corner like that. The XR and the DR definitely have more than enough power to still have fun, but this bike's got enough power to scare you, which is also kind of fun. Enough to scare me anyway. Those D-Sports have been seeming like they're doing a good job hanging on. It must depend on the type. Well, I shouldn't say it must. I know it does. I was on some asphalt the other day with, I think it was this bike. Maybe it was the DR? No, I think it was this one. The tires were just howling at me, but it must have just been that specific type of pavement, which is good because it was annoying. Or maybe I didn't have earplugs in? I don't remember. Deer way out there. On a much happier note, though, if you guys see the pictures at all, I think it would just be on, I guess I don't know if you get them on if you watch them on a TV. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys have to let me know, but I posted a picture of our new little puppy the other day. My wife wanted a dog since we lost our Doberman a couple of years ago. That was kind of her dog, and Akina, the husky that we've got, is kind of mine. So we got her a new little German Shepherd puppy that's just 2 months old, I think. So that's been fun and interesting. Last night was the first night with her, and she kept my wife up quite a bit. Our kids are finally just now starting to sleep through the night every once in a while, maybe once or twice a month. So I guess she was itching to have something else keep her up at night and to make her life difficult. But in truth, life is kind of boring without something to keep you busy, and of course a puppy and a dog and kids are definitely always worth the hassle, and definitely can add some stress to life, but they definitely add a lot more joy than they do stress. And kids especially, I think, dogs too though, really teach you a lot of lessons that I think you can't really learn anywhere else. Mostly patience and I guess kindness and caring and of course responsibility and that sort of thing, but I don't know, it just I think gives you a better understanding of yourself when you have things like that to take care of and you know, problems that arise that you have to deal with. It seems like it's helped me grow up a lot in a lot of ways that I didn't realize that I needed to. Makes you understand your parents a lot better too, I think, it seems like, to me anyway. Well, even though I pretty much blatantly ignored everything that this thing had to tell me, I've got to say it definitely is a pretty nice way to navigate. Again, like I said earlier, kind of depends on what you want it to do. If you want it to sort of hold your hand like Google Maps, then maybe Google Maps is the better route. But I think it is kind of a nice feature that I think I will probably use. I mean, I think this will be super nice, honestly, now that I think about it, because a lot of times, I mean, I probably need to spend a bit more time on it with my phone rather than just quick dropping some points like I did before this ride. But a lot of times I will kind of get down to the bike and just drop a point that I want to go to and have a route in mind, and then end up missing the route for one reason or another. Where, I mean, now, if you want to specifically take a certain way to get somewhere, I mean, boy, that's going to be pretty nice to just have that blue line on there to stick to. So we are at the Tigerton Off-Road Park campgrounds here, moving towards the trails, which are not on here. And this is technically private. Well, it's owned by the city, I think, but it's still, I think, somewhat private land, private park. So it's not going to show up on here as far as land borders and stuff go. That'll give us a good reason to switch over. I'm going to hit the B button here. Hey, look at that! What happens if I do it again? I think it just goes back to that. I initially thought this A and B was going to be to switch between the cameras, which I would have kind of liked, but I guess this works a bit. What does the A button do? Taking photo. Okay, well, I need to take a photo, so that's useless. That'll toggle between the map and the cameras, and I've just got that set on the back one. Yeah, the dual is kind of disorienting and annoying. It just sort of squishes everything down. That's the front one. There's the rear. We'll be able to see if there's any side-by-sides coming up behind us, I suppose. Oh boy, that's kind of... I don't know, I feel like that messes with me. I guess being on that fender, I suppose it's going to bounce around a bit, but I guess I just got to stop staring at it and look ahead. Could almost use that instead of a mirror. It's probably clearer than these goofy things. The way that I ended up mounting it, kind of with the bracket pinched between the gauge cluster and the back of the fairing, it still allows for a bit of movement, which is honestly probably not a terrible thing on a thumpy bike. Definitely is bouncing around a bit off-road, but not near as much as the Garmin did. And of course that metal bracket, I think, is going to be a lot better suited for taking the abuse that this bike's going to dole out over the bumps. And as long as the bracket doesn't rip out of the cowling, it seems like it should stay there. Oh, I love the sunlight coming through the trees like that. Oh, did I miss my... I did. I missed my spot. This is a ridiculous hill. Oh, yikes. That's not where I wanted to go. That'd have been bad. Feel that ABS in the front kicking on. Little guys, I think. Something wants it. Probably a sucker. Oh! Not a sucker, a chub. Catch more chubs than I do trout, but that's alright. Ow! I hope you guys are appreciating the 701 content at the very least. I've been kind of trying to drop one of those videos every once in a while. You know, I keep telling you I'm going to sell the bike, and honestly, I think with this, it has a lot more miles on it than I thought it did. So honestly, I don't know if it'd even be worth selling. It's probably just makes sense to keep it as my sort of in-between bike when I'm in between, builds. So I'm moving too fast. Although I think when it's moving too fast, that means it's actually a good spot, right? Good spot to get stuck. That's where the big ones like to hide. Waiting for the stuff that can't quite keep up with the water. I do often wonder if I should, actually be wearing something that is a little bit more suited to the sort of harder core bits of riding that I do every once in a while. Even if it is on an adventure, but I certainly wouldn't want to be walking around out here with those Alpine Stars TriStar. I guess it's been a while since I've been fishing. Apparently I've just forgotten how to stop making messes of the line every 3 seconds. It sure is a pretty river. Get over here and then not be able to get back. Uh-oh. I'm gonna get back across that. Oh well, worst case, I gotta wait out here. That's why they call it fishing, not catching, I suppose, eh? Oh, I gotta get back on the bike and get moving a bit. Too warm for this. What's the plan here? Been sitting here way too long thinking about this. I think it's gonna work. Whoa! That almost did not. Alright, fish, you win again. Wouldn't have even taken you home. Could have gone right back in there. Oh, then my little guy would have been upset that I didn't bring it home. Always wants to take fish home to eat them. Should start doing that. I'm sure he'd get a real kick out of it. So I decided to try my little tool pouch that came off of the back of my hydration vest just on here instead to kind of keep the weight off of me, and it definitely seems like it helps my troublesome back a bit. I don't really think I noticed it on here at all, not that we're doing anything too intense. I guess really the main reason that I like having the tools in here and I guess on the back of the hydration vest is actually just that when I switch bikes, which has always got the tools with me, but I suppose as long as I've got a spot to strap it down, I can pretty easily switch back and forth. I gotta crawl back up there now. And we have for tire pressure 26 psi in the front, 27 in the rear. And one thing that I didn't mention about that is that you can actually set up an alarm for a low or high pressure. So the screen will have a pop-up message to essentially warn you that your tires are low, which is, I mean, really kind of a nice thing. You can set that set point wherever you want it. Tigered and Dells, it says in teeny tiny print. Worst part about this bike is the limited turning radius. Whoa! Best part about it is the power. And it is a fun bike. I always say that I like my big bore, my other retro big bore dual sports, and I certainly do, but only when I'm kind of switching back and forth. I just like the thump of that. The engine sound in this is just not something that I'm used to, I think. I mean, if you cut your teeth on something like this, it probably would be the exact opposite, but I rode my old Gen 2 and Gen 3 KLR for so long that I just don't know anything else. So it's just kind of a weird feeling, sound, and general sensation from the engine of this thing in comparison. But man, I mean, it's it's like nothing else. It's a darn fun bike. Darn capable too, even with it dropped. Maybe even more so capable with it dropped, honestly. I know just from the experience I've had with the XR lowering that, I'm sure that this bike handles much better kind of going around the corners and stuff like this. I mean, yeah, if I had the skills, I'm sure that I could make it do just as good, if maybe not better, probably not, if it was at full height and I really knew what I was doing, but I kind of don't think so. I think the majority of people, unless they're going to spend a lot of time jumping logs or doing big jumps, it just seems like having it at a more reasonable, any bike at a more reasonable height off the ground just makes more sense, center of gravity standpoint, and just from a traction standpoint. You don't have so much to sort of lean over and tower over the sides, so the tires don't have to work so hard to grip. It just works much better, I think, in my opinion. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's definitely what I've come to like. The screen's kind of bright off-road. It's supposed to adjust itself. Not off-road in the dark in the trees. Maybe I'll find myself switching back and forth between apps just to darken it up. I don't think this one will change over to a dark theme like like Google Maps will. I suppose I should stop and see what we can do about the brightness. That would be that right there. Yeah, we can definitely drop it down. I guess we can switch to that one for a little bit. How does that look? Whoops. Free ride. Oh, now it's going to be bright? What? It's just backwards? You can see all the county land a lot easier now. Oh, and it does show the border of the land on here. That's kind of cool. And miles an hour, really, really small. Oh boy. Everything's foggy! Darn my sweaty face. There we go. Whoa! Get up off of them pigs. Woo! Whoa! How did that happen? I do really like that it tells me the time. That's certainly a nice thing, especially if you've got a bike that doesn't have a clock. I checked my phone before and it was definitely not feeling too warm, so that's certainly a good thing. And I've got to say, I really have been enjoying using this today. I mean, like I said, things could be a little bit bigger on there, but really other than that, I don't have any complaints. All of the different features and everything on here, I mean, are just, come on, where's neutral? I mean, just super cool that, you can check your tire pressure, you can loop record front and rear cameras. I mean, it really, really is a pretty cool thing. So if you guys are interested in picking one of these up, I can put links for it down in the description, as well as any sort of discount code or affiliate link or whatever that would help me make more videos like this. If you use that link or any of the other links labeled as affiliate codes, then it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps me to continue making videos like this. And I definitely appreciate it when you guys take the time to use those before you do your shopping. It is disorienting watching the front and the rear. Oh, what a beautiful night. It's going to be a nice ride home. Thanks for riding along with me today, guys. I definitely appreciate it. Take care, stay safe, stay swanky, get out and enjoy this beautiful world. Any chance you get might just make you feel better. Definitely did for me today. Didn't come out here camping with Jerry yet, too.